What's up, guys? Matt here, coming at you with a quick look at this TLR Tuned Typhon. Okay, the pink, white, purple. Maybe it looks a little girly, but you know what? I kind of like it. It looks a little different. The body comes with a pretty cool paint job overall, and then I like it. You know, it's got some cutouts and stuff. So I don't hate the body. I can always paint a body for it, but I actually kind of really love the looks of this thing. So I've debated on picking this up for a while. I had a Typhon that I just bashed with, ran on the outdoor track a little bit, just messing around. Never really raced or anything like that with it, but really I just launched the thing quite a bit, and it held up well, and I liked how it drove pretty well. So I'd kind of debated on one of these just because it's TLR tuned. So low C, you know, paired up with Arma, basically, I guess because they're both Horizon Hobby, and kind of put their spin on this thing. You can see it's got the TLR tuned logo on the shocks, shock towers, the chassis. You know, pretty sweet looking little buggy. So really, I've kind of wanted to get an 8-scale buggy again, but man, they're like so expensive, you know, and I just wasn't sure that I would use it enough that I wanted to pay, you know, the $1,000 basically to get in one. So with this thing, this is like $419 or something, I believe. And then I had some electronics that I'm going to put in it. This Mamba Monster and the 1515, hopefully it's going to work good in there. I have a Savox 1258 TG servo that was laying around, so I can kind of toss that in here. And really what conned me into getting this is the track Hoosier Hobbyplex up in Indiana. They decided they were going to run a 3S basher class, basically. So like they're going to have, like, you can run Sinton, you can run the Typhon, and a couple other things, I believe. But it's just kind of like a 3S basher class is what they call it. You run a 3S pack, and you can run a couple different trucks. So I thought, you know, I can get this thing and get it set up running that class and get some fun out of it. Hopefully I have a couple other people that's going to get in that with me, and then I can also take this and run it in the like e-buggy class. Not sure how you know, competitive I'll be, but I feel like it'll do pretty good. I liked how it drove before. I think I can get it dialed in on the clay. So we're gonna see. And there's not a lot of videos out there. I've seen people do videos on, you know, can it be competitive on the track, and then they take it out on a dusty outdoor track and just like slide all over the place and this and that. And there's really nobody like actually racing it, putting it on a clay track, trying to get it to hook up and actually like trying to be competitive with it. You know, every video I clicked on with this thing is like, oh, can it run on the track? And they take it out on some dusty, unprepped track and just like slide around everywhere and launch it and say it's awesome. But so we're gonna try to get a little better footage with this thing and see how we like it. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick look at it. There's plenty of reviews out there, like overlooks, that sort of thing, but it comes with, it looks like the aluminum servo arm that you normally get with the Typhon. And overall, I think this thing can be competitive somewhat, and then it's going to be a great little intro buggy, I think. So I'm going to try to get this thing together. I'm in a rush. I want to race this tomorrow. I got to get all the electronics in it and get some tires glued and sanded and all that fun. So going to get to work, and I'll show you what's up with it when I'm finished and hopefully get some race footage. So of course, with my luck, I built this thing, took it to the track the very next day, and nobody showed up for this class. So I I couldn't actually run it in the e-buggy class. Basically, they said the castle system in there is not roar approved, which that's a whole nother deal. I don't get why tracks do that anyways. Like, so what? If somebody's there, let them run. But that's why I don't race a lot, because I think those type rules are stupid. I'm not gaining an advantage with a castle system. Honestly, it wouldn't even be my choice to put in this thing. Probably wouldn't be anybody's choice to put in this thing. I just had it sitting, so that's what I'm running. But overall, this buggy, wow, like very impressive, very responsive, very nimble for, you know, its size, 8th scale. Ran really well on this track, and nobody could believe that I took this thing out of the box, threw electronics in it, put some different wheels and tires on it, and ran it. Like, they just couldn't believe it. You know, there was no setup done to this at all. This is exactly how it comes out of the box. And you can see it took some hits, you know, it took a lot of hits, and no issues with it. I did end up burning out my servo, but that thing is probably 3 or 4 years old, and really its time was coming. So for the beating that it took, that's fine. I'll replace the servo. But the buggy itself, no issues, nothing broke. You can see a little loose there. I think a lot of that was just tire sauce was wearing off. But man, I'm loving this little thing. And honestly, for the price of it, like, it's well worth it to me if I never even race it, like just taking it to the track and having fun with it. You know, I like to race every now and then, but honestly, we have a lot of days like this where we just go hang out at the track and have fun. And I have a lot better time doing this, honestly, than racing. So I'll try to get more footage of this thing. There you can see. Took a pretty good hit. Lloyd said he's done with it. He didn't want to break it. So let's see what he had to say about it real quick here.
All right. I ain't worried about it. What do you think about it?
Huh? Bad. It's awesome. Yeah.
For what it is?
For what that is, man? Yeah, dude. A couple little setup adjustments, man, and it's going to be fast.
So what Lloyd was getting ready to say when I cut him off there accidentally is with a couple little setups on this thing. He was saying, you know, it could easily run with any of the other buggies. And like I said, for the price, you know, $419 as a roller, maybe for somebody who wants to get into a buggy, but like me, I honestly don't have a lot of time to build a kit. I buy a lot of used stuff from people from the track because I can take the time and tear into one diff or something and take care of that if there's an issue or something like that. But I really don't have the time or want to sit down and build a kit. Every little piece, I just don't like it. So this buggy is a great way. You know, that was one of my other things is I didn't want to buy a $700 e-buggy kit and have to put it together. Like, I just don't want to deal with it. So this was a great way for me to get into the 8th buggy and have something that, you know, if I get to the point where I'm not going to the track a lot, I'll just bash the thing, you know. So overall, really impressed with it, and I think it can be a solid contender on the indoor clay tracks as well. So you guys check out the running. You know, this is the very first time we've ran this thing, and so there's a little bit of getting used to it, but overall, man, just had an absolute blast with this thing. So this footage here is actually me running and Liam shooting the video. So I apologize for a little bit of the shaky camera work, but you know, he wanted to be a part of this and help me shoot some video, and just having him at the track means a lot to me. That's what this hobby is about. Enjoying it with the kids and getting them interested, and you know, hopefully it gives them something to do that keeps them out of a little bit of trouble maybe down the road. So I'm always going to have Liam there with me, and that's what makes this day for me, honestly. So I apologize for the shaky camera work, but it's a part of it, and it's definitely going to be a part of this channel for a while. So hope you guys don't mind too bad.
Oh! I like it. Now it's Lloyd on the buggy. The swap. Thing's loud. Ooh, and he flips.
All right, so here it is, exactly how I took it to the track. Overall, nothing broke, nothing leaking, no shocks, no diffs, anything leaking, everything held up great. You know, I didn't even crack a wing, break, anything. My servo died. Like I said, that thing is several years old, running my short course trucks for a couple years and bashed it. And it was in the last Typhon that I just launched. So it's seen better days. Running the Proline Positrons, sanded slick. Slicks are the way to go at the track there with the tire sauce. Overall, very impressed with this little buggy. And I think it could be competitive. You know, maybe once I get used to it and get dialed in a little bit, I can change the system or something and maybe run in the 8 scale class. But for me, this thing is great. You know, I'm not a professional, not even that good. So I could take this, I can run it, I can run a low seat, I can run an associated, I could run a techno. I'm not gonna notice the difference, you know, and that's kind of what my buddy Lloyd was saying. You know, he spends a lot of time at the track, he knows his stuff. And he was saying, you know, for us, we're not gonna know the difference in this. Maybe a professional who's, you know, insanely fast could tell the difference. But for me, this is plenty. And this is one of those things that if you kind of want a basher, but you want to be able to go to the track with it and do a little bit of something, I think this is a great way to go. Because, you know, maybe you try the track, you race a few times and it's just not for you. This would be a good basher also. You know, I bashed the far out of my other Typhon and it held up great. Didn't break anything on it. I broke one end on the shock, like rod end basically, which was nothing because I was sending that thing like 40 feet. So I feel like, you know, it can do a little bit of both, and it can definitely be a contender and make you very happy on the indoor clay or outdoor tracks, I'm sure. So if you guys have any questions on this thing, it's funny to see the amount of dudes who love this pink and purple. You know, I have so many people say they love this body, and I think it's just kind of because it's not something that's seen a lot. So that's a plus also. But overall, very impressed with this thing. Can't wait to get more runtime with it. You can see I'm gonna get this servo swapped out and we'll get it back to the track some more. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. I appreciate everybody watching. Peace.